On December 1st, I have the impulse to start an audio vlog. I don't work out any logistics or outline my day. I simply open my voice memos app and begin recording. I've already slept 2 hours past my alarm, but I'm following an internal call to create something, to carve something interesting out of the spare minutes I have before heading to work. I'm reaching for an uninhibited state of creative flow, while tightening the corners of my bed sheets and running a comb through my disheveled hair, praying I can somehow make it to work on time. I have flow state in one hand, punctuality in the other. These pursuits are in opposition, but this is what an attempt at harmony looks like. Hello, I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm at such a loss for how to start this. It's so awkward. And I keep telling myself the more I do this, the better I will get at narrating my life. I had the idea, I was inspired to talk about my crafting of this YouTube channel and my creative process, because I feel like when I have a creative idea or something that I'm working on, it consumes every aspect of my life. So while I'm going through my day-to-day and all the mundane required tasks of my life, this is what's on my mind. So currently I'm thinking of YouTube. I'm about to head to work, and probably all day at work I'm going to be thinking about YouTube. I'm going to go to sleep tonight thinking about YouTube. I'm dreaming of YouTube. I explain how my thoughts have been pressure cooking like a rich curry for over 10 years. I'm pouring it golden over rice. I'm trying to savor my ideas. So I think this will hopefully be interesting, but also maybe validating. I think there are so many of us who have day jobs, but dream of something a bit more creative. I don't know. I think it can be lost on people, like how much of the work is the thinking. I think thinking is very undervalued, but I do think thinking about something and ideating is a very important part of the process, and letting something simmer and taking time with an idea. And I've been doing that for years, and I think our current world tells us that is useless. Just do it. Just put yourself out there, and the time that you spend thinking on something or planning something is useless. But it's not. I'm much more happy with the ideas that I have now than what I started with when, say, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel at the age of 17. As I'm rushing to work, it occurs to me that I should explain what I do. I am a library assistant, so I work at a library. Sometimes I wonder how I manage the brief and sudden turn of luck that landed me in my current career. It's the first job since graduation I've been truly proud of. I actually love so many aspects of my job, including my coworkers. It's a very healthy work environment, so I love that. I also like a lot of the things that I get to do, like creating programming, though right now I'm going to set you down on my bed while I get some tasks done, so I might seem a bit farther away. There was a time when I never could have imagined I'd get to be so creative for a living. My degree was not opening the doors I'd hoped it would, and miserable customer service jobs seemed to be all that I could convince anyone to hire me for. But then I found the library. I'm a bit behind on my planning for this month. I have to submit my program schedule today. No pressure, and I've given it literally no thought. So I'm just going to go back into my archives for the year and pick 1 or 2 programs from a few months past. And so hopefully my patrons don't notice that these programs are recycled, or they don't mind because they love them so much the first time. I do have to figure that out today, and I also have a program today. So things aren't perfect. Every day I'm juggling several things at once with impaired executive functioning skills. But it's worth it because I'm getting to learn things in a forgiving environment, things that would otherwise demand much higher stakes in some other industries. I'm going to be teaching our patrons how to create Victorian puzzle letters, and I'm a bit nervous but also excited because I think if it goes well and if they are able to catch on, it's such a fun activity and it's very useful during the gift giving season to be able to give someone you love a Victorian puzzle letter. If you're not familiar, it's a letter that's folded very intricately, almost like a puzzle. So each layer that you unfold, you can design it with like lots of beautiful artwork or colors. You can do watercolor. You can decorate it with markers, with stickers, with literally anything. You can put things in the pockets. And there's like, I would say like 3 levels to it. So whoever you gift it to, it can be a fun, exciting thing to unopen and look at all the different layers. I will be hosting that today. I hope all goes well. I've never taught people how to make these before, so it's a bit of trial and error. And that's like the lovely thing about my job is I actually think it's taught me a lot of patience with myself and looking at everything as an opportunity to learn and improve. There are so many things that at the start of this job, which in my particular role, I've been doing this for a little over a year, and I've been working at this particular library for over like 2.5 years now. Programming and creating events for people has taught me that things are just gonna go wrong. You can prepare as much as you like, and that's really important. Like I said, there is so much value in that aspect of the process, but that doesn't mean things won't still go wrong, and you learn in the process and you get better. Then I remember, I'm going to be late. Also, I'm realizing I am beginning to feel a bit winded because I'm moving around and talking, and I have asthma, so it's very easy for me to get winded. So I'm going to try to slow things down as much as I can while still making sure that I'm doing things quickly enough to get to work on time. Where is my comb? Just doing my hair. Creative energy can be a difficult thing to harness. I know I want to do something. I know what I want it to feel like. I know the abstract elements intimately, but I need an actual concept. I need an outline. I'm looking in the mirror and talking it through. I'm trying to tease the specifics out of my brain. I've thought about like how much I may or may not want to include my job in my YouTube channel and what this YouTube channel will focus on. I have a lot to say. I have a lot of things that I care about. I have a lot that I'd like to share, but as with anything, when you have creative inspiration, it's a bit of an editing process, figuring out what you will share and what you won't, what's on the table and what's not. Again, like I'm thinking about this as though it's like the process of creating an album. With an album, you write a lot of songs, you have a lot of interests, you have a lot of ideas, but not everything makes the cut. So I'm approaching my YouTube channel in that same way. I'm thinking about what's going to make the cut and what won't. And my relationship with books is very top of mind, given the popularity of book-related content currently and my proximity to books, given my job. I sometimes think reading is the key to unlocking the best version of myself. The one that is more eloquent and organized, who can see an idea through, start to finish. So if I could say there's one huge con to my job, it's this. Something that's surprising to a lot of people is I'm not a big reader, despite working in a library. I actually think working in a library has, it's affected my relationship to reading. I think I'm actually really overwhelmed by the sheer quantity of books out there, and I'm so insatiably curious about everything, and I check out so many books from the library just because I work there, and everything comes across our desk. So I get to see it all, things that you wouldn't necessarily be exposed to. Being on Book Talk, for instance, or monitoring the bestseller list or even lists that are curated online. I will check out so many, but then get overwhelmed by the sheer number of books that I have on my shelf, and I'll end up reading nothing. I find it very difficult to finish books because my curiosity is naturally drawn to something else before I'm even able to complete a book. So it's not great. I'm still trying to tease ideas out of my scrambled thoughts. I believe a reading mind is one that goes deep. Mine feels shallow and wide. I know a little about a lot. I wish I knew a lot about a little. Or even better, a lot about a lot. I can't say that I have a lot of book recommendations, given I don't, unfortunately, complete a lot of books. So that wouldn't really be my contribution to the online space. But I do think I could kind of share in the same way that I'm so intrigued by all these books that I'm seeing, books that are maybe lesser known or that I'm not seeing being talked about online, and say, hey, this description really caught my interest. Maybe someone else would be interested in this too. This book was written 15 years ago, and you've probably never heard of it, but it looks really interesting. So I've thought about that, but I don't really want to create a channel around any one specific interest, so I worry about that. I think it's kind of like deciding what genre you want the album to be. But the creative process is just figuring all of that out. And I'm sure many of you are having the same feeling. We're going into 2026. Everyone wants to start a YouTube channel. Not everyone. But I think a lot of people see YouTube or any sort of social media endeavor as a way to spend most of their time doing something creative in a way that they're able to sustain because it is lucrative in some way. So I'm no different. I would love to spend more of my time being creative. I don't think I'm living a unique experience. I'm choosing to embrace a bit of the chaos of my life and seek harmony with it, because I know so many people are experiencing the same things as me. And I want them to find acceptance, fulfillment, joy, and ease. So I choose to believe I'm worthy of these things as well. I'm grateful, but I am allowed to want more. I'm very, very grateful for my job and that I honestly get to be so creative day to day in my work. But I would like to supplement that with some sort of some sort of side, I hate the word side business, but something that I get to do a little more on my own terms that maybe allows me to make a little more money, just to sustain what I think is like a reasonable lifestyle. This is not a job I see myself leaving, not anytime soon, because there are so many things about it I do love. But unfortunately, I'm not really able to make the living that I would like to be making. We'll figure it out. I'm very fortunate though to even be in that place where I don't feel like my job is absolutely unbearable day to day, because I've been there. I've certainly been there, and I can't imagine going back. Anyway, I need to focus on getting ready. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a dream of mine to participate in VLOGMAS. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. Even though I can't promise that I will see this through till the end, because I am an inconsistent artist, I hope that I do, and I'm looking forward to the attempt. And I think I'm going to learn a lot about myself and about my creative process. So if this has been meaningful in any way to you, I hope you join me next time, and I will talk to you then. Happy holidays.